It has been over 43 years since Cheers first aired. 11 seasons, 275 episodes, and a cast that felt less like actors and more like people you actually knew. But here is the truth nobody talks about. Some of them faced heartbreaking tragedies. Some disappeared completely, and a few built careers even bigger than the show itself. Let's find out what really happened to them. Number 1. Ted Danson as Sam Malone. Before Cheers, Ted Danson was just another face in Hollywood. Nobody was predicting greatness. Then Sam Malone walked into that bar, and everything changed. Ted was 34 years old when he took the role. Sam was charming, complicated, and quietly battling alcohol addiction. Ted played every layer of that with such ease that it never felt like acting. Cheers almost got canceled after season 1. The ratings were rough, but Ted's performance kept pulling viewers back. By the finale in 1993, nearly 93 million people tuned in. He walked away with 2 Emmy Awards and a permanent place in television history. After Cheers, he never stopped. Becker, Damages, The Good Place, Mr. Mayor, each role better than the last. Today, at 77 years old, Ted Danson is still one of television's most respected names. Married to Mary Steenburgen since 1995. Estimated net worth around $80 million. Sam Malone was the role that started it all. But Ted Danson proved that was just chapter 1. Number 2, Shelley Long as Diane Chambers. Shelley Long was 33 years old when she created one of the most unforgettable characters in sitcom history. Diane Chambers was overeducated, dramatic, and completely impossible not to love. Her chemistry with Ted Danson drove the entire emotional engine of Cheers' early seasons. She won an Emmy in 1983 and a Golden Globe in 1985. The recognition was completely deserved, and then she walked away. At the end of season 5, Shelley left Cheers to pursue a film career. The producers were blindsided. The fans were heartbroken. In the film career, she sacrificed everything for never quite delivered what she expected. Many called it one of the costliest decisions in television history. But the story has a softer ending. She returned for the series finale in 1993. She later charmed a whole new generation on Modern Family as Dee Dee Pritchett. Today at 76, Shelley lives quietly and largely away from the spotlight. Diane Chambers may be a fictional character, but for anyone who watched Cheers growing up, she never really left. Number 3, Nicholas Colasanto as Coach. Some people just make a room warmer the moment they walk in. Nicholas Colasanto was exactly that kind of person. He played Coach Ernie Pantussell, lovably confused, endlessly kind, and with a heart so big that every viewer felt it through the screen. Nicholas was 57 when Cheers began, a seasoned actor and director who had spent decades working mostly behind the camera. Cheers gave him something rare, a role the whole country could finally see him in. The cast adored him, not for the cameras, genuinely. During season 3, his health began to fail. Heart disease was taking its toll, but Nicholas kept showing up. He kept doing the work. He passed away on February 12, 1985, at just 61 years old. He never saw how the show said goodbye to Coach. The cast placed his photograph on the set wall. It stayed there for the rest of the series. All 10 remaining seasons. Nicholas Colasanto left after just 3 seasons. But the warmth he brought to that bar never left at all. Number 4, Rhea Perlman as Carla Tortelli. If Cheers had a heartbeat, Carla Tortelli was the pulse. Rhea Perlman was 34 years old when she stepped into the role. Carla was sharp-tongued, fiercely loyal, and could destroy anyone in the room with a single sentence. She had no filter, no patience, and absolutely no tolerance for nonsense. And viewers loved every second of it. What made Rhea's performance so remarkable was the layers underneath all that toughness. Carla was a struggling single mother doing her best in a chaotic world. Rhea never let you forget that. Even in the funniest moments, there was always something real underneath. The Television Academy noticed. Rhea Perlman won 4 Emmy Awards for this role. 4 out of 10 nominations. That is not luck. That is mastery. After Cheers ended, Rhea continued working steadily in television and film. She was married to Danny DeVito, throughout the entire run of the show. They separated in 2017 after 35 years together, which genuinely saddened a lot of fans. Today, at 77 years old, Rhea Perlman still works occasionally in Hollywood. Carla Tortelli was one of a kind, and so is she. Number 5. John Ratzenberger as Cliff Clavin. Here is something that will genuinely surprise you. Cliff Clavin was never supposed to exist. When John Ratzenberger came into audition for Cheers, there was no role for him. So he simply asked the producers whether they needed a character who was a bar know-it-all. Then he improvised the entire thing on the spot. The producers loved it so much they wrote Cliff into the show. That is not luck. That is instinct. John was 35 years old when Cheers began. Cliff became one of television's most quoted characters. The trivia, the mailman uniform, the hilariously complicated relationship with his mother, and that unbreakable friendship with Norm Peterson. John appeared in all 275 episodes of the series. Every single one. After Cheers, John became Pixar's unofficial good luck charm. He voiced characters in every single Pixar film from Toy Story all the way through to Elemental. Ham the Piggy Bank, The Underminer, Mac the Truck, the list goes on. Today, at 78 years old, John Ratzenberger has an estimated net worth of $80 million. He turned one improvised audition into a lifetime of iconic work. Not bad for a character who almost never existed. Number 6. George Wendt as Norm Peterson. The moment the door opened and the whole bar shouted his name. If that does not take you straight back, nothing will. George Wendt was 34 years old when he brought Norm Peterson to life. Norm was an accountant, a dreamer, and a man who was most himself sitting on that corner bar stool with a cold beer in front of him. He was the everyman, the one every viewer saw a little of themselves in. George earned 6 Emmy nominations for the role. His comedic timing was effortless and his warmth was genuine. The friendship between Norm and Cliff Clavin became one of the greatest on-screen bromance in sitcom history. After Cheers ended, George continued acting in films and television. He appeared in Fletch, Guilty by Suspicion, and hosted his own short-lived sitcom in 1995. He also did extensive theater work over the years. Away from the cameras, George had something Norm never quite managed: a genuinely happy life. He was married to his wife Bernadette since 1978 and had 3 children. But I have to share some difficult news with you now. George Wendt passed away on May 20th, 2025. His family and fans around the world were devastated. The bar will never quite be the same without him. Number 7. Woody Harrelson as Woody Boyd. Not many actors can walk into an already beloved show and win the audience over completely. Woody Harrelson did it in about 3 episodes. He was just 24 years old when he joined Cheers in 1985. Woody Boyd was a naive, sweet-natured farm boy from Hanover, Indiana, who came to Boston looking for his pen pal Coach. When Coach passed away, Sam gave him a job behind the bar. And just like that, a new fan favorite was born. Woody was funny without trying to be funny. That is the hardest kind of comedy to pull off. His relationship with his girlfriend Kelly was genuinely adorable, and his friendship with the rest of the gang felt completely real. He won an Emmy Award for Best Supporting Actor in 1989. Well-deserved. After Cheers, Woody Harrelson became a full-blown Hollywood A-lister. Natural-born killers. The People vs. Larry Flint. No Country for Old Men. 3 Academy Award nominations. He played Haymitch in the Hunger Games franchise and has never stopped choosing bold, unexpected roles. Today, at 64 years old, Woody has an estimated net worth of over $70 million. Sweet Woody Boyd grew up, and he grew up spectacularly. Number 8. Kelsey Grammer as Dr. Fraser Crane. He was only supposed to appear in a handful of episodes. Think about that for a moment. Kelsey Grammer was 29 years old when he first appeared on Cheers as Dr. Fraser Crane. Pompous, neurotic, and absolutely hilarious. The producers quickly realized they had something special and made him a series regular. His relationship with Diane, and later his marriage to Lilith, gave the show some of its most memorable moments. But what happened after Cheers is genuinely historic. The Frasier spin-off ran for 11 seasons and won 37 Emmy Awards. Kelsey himself won 4 Emmys for the role. No character in television history has won more. His personal life has carried tremendous pain alongside that success. He lost his father to murder. His sister was killed. 2 half-siblings died in a diving accident. He battled addiction and entered rehabilitation multiple times. Through all of it, he kept working. The Frasier reboot premiered in 2023 and brought his beloved character back to a whole new generation. Today, at 70 years old, Kelsey Grammer has an estimated net worth of $80 million. The man who was almost a guest star became the most decorated actor in sitcom history. Number 9. Kirstie Alley as Rebecca Howe. Take a moment before this one, because this one hurts. When Shelley Long left Cheers in 1987, nobody envied the actress who would have to fill that space. The fans were protective. The expectations were impossible. And then Kirstie Alley walked in at 36 years old and made everyone forget their doubts within about 2 episodes. Rebecca Howe was completely different from Diane Chambers. She was corporate, anxious, unlucky in love, and deeply human underneath all that professional armor. Kirstie brought a vulnerability to the role that was impossible to fake. She won an Emmy Award and a Golden Globe in 1991. The Cheers family had found its second leading lady. After the show ended, Kirstie became one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces. The Look Who's Talking films, Veronica's Closet, Dancing with the Stars. She was outspoken and fearless and never once tried to be anyone other than herself. On December 5th, 2022, Kirstie Alley passed away at the age of 71 after a brief battle with cancer. Her death shocked the entertainment world. Ted Danson, Rhea Perlman, and Kelsey Grammer all posted heartfelt tributes to their friend. She left behind 2 children and a legacy full of laughter. Rest in peace, Kirstie. Number 10. Bebe Neuwirth as Dr. Lilith Sternin. She walked into Cheers as a 1-episode guest character. She walked out as one of the most iconic recurring figures the show ever produced. Bebe Neuwirth was 27 years old when she first appeared as Dr. Lilith Sternin. Cold, precise, devastatingly intelligent, and secretly hilarious. Lilith was the perfect match for Frasier Crane because she was everything he thought he was, but actually delivered. Their relationship became one of the funniest and most surprisingly touching storylines in the entire series. Bebe won 2 Emmy Awards for the role. She was nominated 3 times. For a character who started as a guest appearance, that is extraordinary. What many people do not know is that Bebe Neuwirth is first and foremost a stage performer. She won 2 Tony Awards on Broadway, including one for Chicago, where her performance as Velma Kelly became the stuff of theatrical legend. She has always moved comfortably between television, film, and the stage in a way very few performers manage. Today, at 65 years old, Bebe Neuwirth remains active in theater and occasionally returns to television. She never chased fame the way Hollywood usually demands. She simply kept doing extraordinary work and let the recognition follow. Lilith Sternin may have been the coldest person in that bar, but Bebe Neuwirth is one of the warmest talents to ever walk through its doors. 11 seasons, 275 episodes, and a cast that genuinely changed what television could be. Some of them are gone now, and that loss is real. But what they built together inside that little bar in Boston will never go away. Because the best stories never really end. They just find new people to live inside. If this brought back something good for you today, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. There are a lot more of these coming. And trust me, you do not want to miss them. Take care, and we will see you in the next one.